Our society loves working in base 10, so let's stay with a 10-1 machine while we make sense of arithmetic. Here's an addition problem. Let's compute 358 plus 287. Now, in the standard algorithm, I would do 8 plus 7 is 15, carry over to 1. 1 plus 5 plus 8 is 14, carry over another 1. And then 1 plus 3 plus 2 is 6. So I end up with 645. But let's try it another way. Let's just go each column down. So if we add left to right, we would have 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 8 is 13, 8 plus 7 is 15. So in this case, my answer would be 513T15, where the T is short for 10. And you know what? This answer is absolutely mathematically correct. You can see it is in a 10-1 machine, where if you have 358 in exploding in dots and 287 in dots, if I combine the ones place, that's 15 dots, and then combine these to get 13 dots in the tens place, and 5 dots in the hundreds place. So 513T15 is absolutely 100% correct. And I even said it correctly. We really do have 500s, 13 tens, and 15 ones. There's nothing mathematically wrong with this answer, it just sounds weird. But society prefers us not to say numbers this way. So the question now is, can we fix up this answer for society's sake? Again, it's not for mathematics' sake, just for society's sake. And the answer is yes, we can do explosions. Since this is a 10-1 machine after all, whenever we have 10 dots in a box, we can exchange it for 1 dot to the next box over to the left. So let's explode the 10 dots in the middle. So we start off that we had 13 dots. And what we do is we take, there's 10 of those. And essentially I cross them all out and add 1 to the next one over. So what that leaves us is 3 dots in the middle, but then I add 1 more to the hundreds place, I end up with 6. So this is now 600 3D15. So 600 3D15 now appears, and this is still a lovely mathematically correct answer, but it's not quite what society wants. So now if I take the ones place and I take 10 dots, explode, and add 1 dot over to the left, that gives us 15. And as we already saw before, that 15 changes to 5. We add 1 to the tens place, and as we've already done explosion, that leaves us with 4. So we end up with 645. So now we see the answer of 645, which is the one society understands. How does this dots and boxes approach to addition compare to the standard algorithm? Well, you might notice with the standard algorithm, we always went right to left and carried over whenever possible. Most people are surprised by the straightforward left to right approach of the 513T15. But it is still correct. That is because, again, the traditional algorithm has us work right to left and has us do the explosions right off. So if I map out, here are 10 dots, explode them, I would put 1 dot over. That's basically how the traditional algorithm works. And we end up now with a 5 carried over 1. People call this carrying the 1, and it correctly corresponds to adding an extra dot in the tens position. Basically, it's the same thing as taking 10 dots and exploding to put 1 dot to the left. And now we can attend to the middle boxes, adding 14 dots in the tens place, using the 5 plus 8, 13 dots plus the extra dot. And then from there, I can take 10 of those dots and do another explosion. So I'm carrying over the 1. And then for the hundreds place, I have this 1 plus 3 plus 2, or 6 dots overall. And now we finish the problem by adding the dots in the hundreds position, so 645. So the traditional algorithm works right to left and does explosions as one goes along. On paper, it is swift and compact, and this might be why it has been the favored way of doing a long addition for centuries. The exploding dot approach works in any order. You can even start in the middle if you want, and leaves all the explosions to the end. So it is easy to understand and kind of fun. Both approaches, of course, are good and correct, and it's just a matter of taste and personal style for which one you choose. So feel free to come up with your own new and correct approach too if you want. So write down the answer working left to right and not worrying about what society thinks. Then do some explosions to translate into something society understands. Well, I have 1 plus 3, that would be 4. And then 4 plus 2 is 6. And then 8 plus 3 is 11. So 46011. Okay. The ones place has more than 10 dots, so I can do an explosion. Kaboom! To get rid of 10, and I would add 1 to the tens place. So 471. 148 plus 323 is 471. And you can check with the standard algorithm, we get the same answer. All right, one more. If I want to write the answer that going straightforward left to right, 5 plus 2 is 7, 6 plus 7 is 13, 7 plus 1 is 8. So 713T8. Okay. I would do an explosion, that 13 to 3, and then add 1 to the 7. So I end up with 838. If I try the standard algorithm, 7 plus 1 is 8, 6 plus 7 is 13, 1 plus 5 plus 2 is 8. I get the same answer.